right of a crest, into 3 left long, tightens don't cut.
There's an old robot saying for times like this. Oh.
Immersed robot.
Dirt Rally 2.0 is one of the more demanding racers for VR headsets, but there are certainly plenty of options to tune in the game for each system and your own personal preference. In this quick test, I'll be using a fixed Steam VR Super sampling setting of 150% as I run through various refresh rates in the index while testing the in-game graphical presets. I'll be using an RTX 3080 and Ryzen 5600X for this test, but my full system specs are in the description to this video. I started out with medium settings at 90 Hz and found I was able to easily maintain 90 FPS without too much trouble. My GPU was being utilized quite well, and frame timings were solid below the required 11 milliseconds for 90 FPS.
4 left, don't cut. Into 3 right. Into caution, don't cut, 3 left. 50 over crest, 1 right tighten.
I tried pushing graphics up to high settings, and although not quite as solid as before, it was trying hard to maintain 90 FPS, never truly settling on reprojection.
Opens long, don't cut, tightens 2. Into cut, maybe 4 right. 30. 3 left. Into 3 right. Opens 30.
Pushing things up to ultra settings allowed reprojection to fully kick in, and I was resting on a solid 45 FPS. Needless to say, if you're comfortable playing racers with solid reprojection, then this is a viable option to get the game looking great.
Into turn 2 right. Opens. Into 4 left. Opens very long. Tightens over crest.
Wanting to try another extreme, I lowered graphics down to the ultra-low preset, then increased the refresh rate of my index all the way up to 144 Hz. In spite of being inconsistent in places, I was able to maintain 144 FPS in certain areas of the track. Overall, however, it did seem to be pushing things a little too much.
Into don't cut 4 left. Into 5 right. 20. 4 left, into slow, 2.
I raised graphics to low, hoping to settle on solid reprojection at 72 FPS, but it was still attempting to push up frame rate in places. The frame rate lock setting in Steam VR would be a viable option here to fix it down to 72 FPS while playing at 144 Hz. However, I pushed graphics again to medium. This time the game seemed to settle into reprojection much better, and the game was running pretty nicely at this point.
Into 5 right long, tightens 3. Into 5 left, don't cut. And keep right of a 30. 6 left of a crest long. Tightens 3, don't cut.
Raising graphics to high was a similar story, with frame rate barely moving from 72 FPS while playing with these settings. Again, if you're happy to play with reprojection, then this is an option.
Opens. Into turn.
Pushing things to ultra was a step too far with frame timings very high, although the frame rate was relatively solid at 48 FPS. Overall, it wasn't a comfortable ride, however, so I certainly wouldn't recommend this at all.
Into 3 right. Opens 30.
Lowering graphics back down to low, I decided to test 120 Hz in the headset. This was immediately much better. Although there were very occasional dips in places, the frame rate maintained 120 for most of the time, and the game really came into its own here.
Opens 30. Three right. Into 3 left. Into turn 2 right. Opens. Into 4 left.
Changing to medium settings pushed the game into reprojection. However, it was attempting to go higher in places, giving a slightly stuttery experience. Increasing graphics to the high preset stopped this from happening, and once again we were in a solid state of reprojection at 60 FPS.
4 left, into slow, 2 right, very long. Opens over crest.
Ultra settings managed to hit 60 FPS most of the time too, but at this point things also kept sporadically dropping down to 40 in certain areas.
Into 5 left, 30, 4 left long tightens,
80 Hz on Ultra was still pushing the system too much as you would expect. The locked 40 FPS wasn't making for a particularly enjoyable experience, but dropping things down to high gave a solid 80 FPS and was perfectly playable.
20, 6 right, into slow, 1 left tightens.
Overall, I'd say it could end up being a coin flip for me personally on which setting I would choose. I prefer not to play racers in reprojection, so 120 Hz at low graphical settings or 90 Hz at medium would be the two I'd most likely go for. I haven't really played a rally game before, so this was a new experience for me and one I found extremely enjoyable. I need plenty of practice of course, but I think hitting a solid 90 or 120 FPS in the game certainly helps me enjoy the experience more than I otherwise would. Let me know your own experiences with this game in comments, and thank you for watching this video.
Opens, into turn, unseen, don't cut 1 left.
Well, that's pretty much it for this video. Please hesitantly tap the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more concise and informative VR content. You can also join our Discord by clicking on the link in the description of this video. And, as always, I'll catch you on the flippity flip.